Good morning from Guam. I wanted to come share a little story from my mothering years. I mean, I'm still a mother, but the kids have left the nest. Um, some of you may be feeling that you've been mothering for a while, but you're feeling a bit of guilt because you'd really like to pursue your passion again, pursue the work that you did, transforming others through some somatic dance, movement, whatever, yoga practice, whatever it is that you're involved with that involves movement in the body. And I'll share a little story about my own experience. And I've got a cat who likes to wander in, and this is the reality about being a parent. And now I'm a parent to cats in the house, so I could put them and shut the door somewhere, and then they'd be meowing and irritating me. So it's a story about incorporation. It's a story about integrating and bringing things together. So, what I want to share is a story that happened in my garage in New Zealand when I was there during um, early years. During 2006, 7. I'm not even sure what year it might have been, 2005 even. But my children were school age. One was probably in intermediate school, and the other was in primary school. And and the reason this experience could happen is because of the personal growth and using my own work, my authentic movement, my Bartinia fundamentals, all the dance and movement work I integrated as a dance movement therapist, during that time as a mother. So, and finding other practices and uh, women's groups or circles eventually, things that I did to support myself. So I was in my garage because I had had to come back to my house to pick up something. Who knows what? Clearly, I had a day where I was going out of the house for multiple things. Perhaps I had a session or a group. Perhaps I had to pick up some kids at some stage. Perhaps I had to drop something off. Perhaps I had to go grocery shopping. Whatever. It would have been that, you know, I appreciated when I was organized and everything was in the car. And that's when I needed the mom wagon, the Subaru station wagon that, was easy to put things in the back. And any of you who have to carry around a lot of props or groceries, you could, you know, relate to that. So, anyway, I was walking in the garage and I was, in my mind, berating myself for having forgot something and saying, you blah, 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 fill in the blanks. All of a sudden, I stood there and went, what are you doing to yourself? And I had this incredible, overwhelming moment of love and self compassion towards myself. And that moment would not have happened if I had not have been pursuing, you know, movement work, personal growth, all these skills that I had acquired when I had worked as a dance movement therapist. I was so overwhelmed with this love and this compassion to myself that honestly, while I've certainly forgotten things in the past, I don't berate myself like that anymore. It's really helped me create a shift. But often those shifts don't happen without the precursors or the preparation, as you'd like to say. So you could say that that was a moment of birth for me where I had done the gestation and the preparation. And so I know a lot of us have been through, those moments. So I just want to share simple things you can do that might help you create more self-compassion, because we love our children so much. um, Normally, I mean, home, that's what we're meant to do, that we feel our heart open when we're thinking of our children. We need to start bringing that to ourselves. So can you just for a moment hold that child? And if you don't have a child, it could be your animal, it could be your partner, it could be somebody else in your life that you just feel so much love for. It could be your parent, it could be a grandparent, it could be a mentor, it could be a teacher. But if you can conjure up the feeling, and what helps me is remembering how much my kids would come in and I would light up. So it's lighting up for ourselves. I would get like, yes, more expansive when I see my children. My heart opens. I want to hear what's happening in their lives. So let's do that for ourselves, whatever way works for you. And I'm just adding a little gesture to just give myself that love. Sometimes I call it, those of you who've known me through my breastfeeding work for years, I call it my third breast. uh, my third breast is offering to the world, because my two physical breasts have nourished and nurtured my children, but in addition, they have nourished many mothers in my course of offering breastfeeding support. So if we can conjure up that love towards ourselves, and then what really has helped me through this, and I found this through a lot of my own authentic movement practice, is just holding different parts of your body. And it could be just your starting with your hands, and just whatever helps you give appreciation. You can say, I appreciate my hand for whatever. I loved how Danny Frankel in her workshop did the shape and the body tracing. But you can do something like that, give it that kind of love. I love just including the arm, but I also like holding the weight and just loving and appreciating this place of me. So if you can find time, and it could be in your day that you just look at your hands and thank your hands for all they've done. Maybe you've cooked a beautiful dinner, you've cooked, maybe you're into the sourdough bread making thing like I've been doing. Um, and just thank your hands for what, there's something so satisfying about, you know, pulling the bread and making the bread. So maybe that's another way. But I mean, I could spend quite a bit of time, and I'm just going to give myself a little bit of self touch, and you can find whatever works for you. You could just hold on to a foot and say, thank you for standing for me today and helping me get to where I need to go. So you can find your own dialogue. Maybe it's just a feeling, or just almost self massage. You could also perhaps put on a piece of music that really speaks to you, that really feels loving to you, like that song is giving you love. And then maybe you dance with it, or you just touch yourself or look at your hands and thank them for all they've done. Thank your, anywhere else in your body you feel like it. And I could go on and on with this, but I just wanted to give you a little brief play with that, and you can find your own way. And then just to let you know that I will link this in at some stage where you can have a consult with me if you're trying to get back into work. I'm setting up program that's got both group and individual opportunities, and anybody who's worked with me or done supervision with me knows that I'm always finding the right books, the right videos, the right music, or inspiring things to share. So um, if that has any interest in for you, please get in touch, and I'm here to support your mothering journey and support you finding your way back into your passion, your work in whatever somatic dance way that you, whatever direction you want to go with it. Thank you.